All right, so good evening, students. This is our second lecture in GRE Quants, rather second lecture in GRE itself. So as we had discussed, we'll be going over the quants till we are about to complete our IELTS session so that we don't get too much of verbal. So in the previous session, if you remember, we started off with the algebra part, right? So we had seen some of the basics of algebra. I told you I'll be sharing some numericals, but then I thought until unless I am doing with you, until unless I have actually taught you what kind of questions you can expect, I shouldn't be directly forwarding those questions. So I didn't forward any quant questions for you. So today we'll be working on some of the quant problems, and then maybe tomorrow I'll post some problems, not some, a lot of problems actually, for your practice. All right, so it is start. Hope the algebra things were clear. Okay, so we'll start with a numerical like this. So in algebra, you'll get, there are three kinds of problems that you can come across. One is something like this. Some value of the variable is provided to you, and then some other value you're being asked to find. Okay. Then there's another type wherein that's a comparison problem. Okay, so there what happens, it's like you're given some data about the variables, and then you get two statements, statement A and statement B. So you are supposed to compare, find the solution and say which of the statements is actually going to be correct, like whether the quantity B is going to be greater, quantity A is going to be greater, or both are going to be same. That is what will your job be in that. And the third most problem that is very, very tricky, that is your word problem. Okay, you'll get some word. So tricky in a sense, it is about the language. Okay, so that's why if you see the schedule, you'll see that word problems I've kept at the most, almost in the late sessions. Why? Because by that time we'll be done with our IELTS sessions. So once we are done with our IELTS session, so you have a hold over the language as in the verbal language. So this helps you actually to understand the language tricks of the word problem. So once we start, once we are done, so you'll see in the later sessions we do the word problem. So for now, so today maybe it will be the final session of the algebra. I'll show you all kinds of problems that you can expect on your GRE exam. And then I'll give you a set of problems to practice. But then there's nothing more other than that word problem for algebra, which I'm not going to touch right now. I would expect you to do that only after you have got a good grasp over this language. All right, so can somebody quickly go about this problem? Can you tell me what is this problem actually stating? Anybody?
Ma'am, we have to find value of x.
We have to find the value of x. So in such cases, you see, if you have to find the value of x, since now we have always done, we have been given an equation and we are asked to solve that. Then why am I given this statement? What is the purpose of this statement as a whole? I could have been given only this equation and then find the value of x. Why this statement? What is the purpose of the statement?
X is not equal to minus 30.
Yeah. Why is this given?
If x is minus 13, then lower value will be cancelled and the answer will come out as a 13.
The answer will be come out as?
13.
Sorry?
But it will not give the value of x if we consider this x value.
Yeah, so suppose if I suppose let me say that this is not given in the problem. So I can take x values minus 13 also, right? So if I take that value 13 by minus 13 plus 13, what am I getting? What will be the output from here?
13.
13?
Yes.
All of you? Shweta?
No, it will be like infinity 13 divided by 0, I guess.
Yeah, so if it is 13 divided by 0, what does it give me?
0, ma'am. Anything divided?
0,
No.
right? Is this clear to all? I get a 0.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let us check that. So if suppose this means that 13 divided by 0, so 0, 13. So you see that's equal to 0. So 0 zeros are should be a 13 out here. Am I getting that? This is the numerator, this is the denominator. So you should be dividing it this way, right? So if I'm dividing it by 0, 0, 0, the 0, because I'm saying the answer to be 0. So it should be 0, 0, the 13 should be here. No? But I know that 0 multiplied by anything is going to be 0. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes. Am I making sense here? Why, like I'm showing this, is this making sense or? I'm waiting for an answer from all of you.
I didn't got the thing you mentioned 0, 13, 0.
Okay. I'm saying when suppose I say that 10 divided by 2, this is the fraction. So what is the answer I give? 5, right? So this 5 means what? That when I'm dividing 10, so by 2, I should get 2 5s are 10. So I get 5 as what? The quotient, and the remainder is 0. Only then I can say 10 by 2 is equal to 5. Do we know this? Do we know all of us? Do we know this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Now got it.
Now I'm saying if I say 13 divided by 0, and since you told it's equal to 0, that means if I'm dividing 13 by 0, the quotient should be 0 and the remainder should be 0 as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So 0 zeros are is how much? 0. It's not 13. So my remainder becomes 13. So this is not solvable then. So this is not 0. Anything divided by 0 is undefined. All right.
Does it mean infinity?
Yeah, that's what I say. Infinity is something that's undefined. You don't know what's the range of infinity.
Okay.
Right. If I say x is greater than 100, so the range of after greater than 100 till where that range is not known to me. All right. So that is my point. So this infinity, undefined, it's all the same because I don't know till where it can reach. Infinity is infinite. I don't know till where I can stretch it, how less I can stretch it. All right. So keeping that into the picture, that is why this problem has exclusively stated take up any value of x, but x is minus 13. Why? Because as soon as you make this minus 13, this entire fraction becomes undefined, which is not my objective. Clear? So this is a very common pattern of an algebra problem that you'll be told whenever there's a fraction. And in algebra, you have a fractional equation. So in that fraction, you'll see always this thing is mentioned, that not equal to something. If you put that something in that fraction denominator, what happens is you'll get an undefined result. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let us move ahead with this problem. So now it becomes pretty easy. Right, so now it will be pretty easy. I'll just do a quick cross multiplication. So that becomes 13 is equal to x plus 13. And then I can solve this easily. Correct? So this was very important. If this was not mentioned, there was a chance. What chance was there? That I would have included this value for solving this equation, and I would have got a value called x is equal to -13 here, because of which this entire fraction would have been undefined. This will only be stated. This statement you'll come once we move ahead. You'll see once we move ahead with our problems that this statement is only provided in case of fractions, and it is related to the denominator. Clear? All right. Let us move. So what is the value of x then?
0.
0. Everybody got this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that was a pretty simple problem. I just, because of that -13, I wanted to show that. Okay, now this problem, now quickly solve this problem. Same here, you see, again, it's a fraction problem. And this thing is being stated because I have, if I put x is equal to 2 out here, this 10 and 10 will become 0. And then this will also be 0. Then I have to solve for it, but then that will give me a wrong solution. So always in such cases, whenever this is given to you, be very cautious. Why? Because there is a chance I come across this also as a value of x.
I got a value, ma'am. I got a value.
Yeah, how much is it?
X is equal to 1.
X is equal to 1. How about the others? Shraddha and Pragati? Very quick, I want.
Yes, ma'am, x is 1.
X is 1, very good. Pragati? Sorry, Shraddha?
Yes, ma'am, I only spoke.
Okay, Pragati?
X is 1.
Ma'am, 1. X is equal to 1.
Okay, very good. So this was a very simple, you did a cross multiplication and you did it. But you did a cross multiplication, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that was something that required a lot of work. If I were in your place, I would have first worked with the simplification of the problem.
Yes, ma'am, I
Yes,
did
done
that.
it this way, do let me know. So I would
did the
have first
simplification.
simplified. So this 5 will cancel this as 2 minus x. So finally I get minus 3x plus 4 is equal to 2 minus x. So that will give me minus 2x is equal to minus 2. So x is equal to 1 here. Did anybody do like this?
Ma'am, I multiplied 10 for that whole bracket. Minus
Ma'am,
3x plus
same.
4.
Yeah, that is what you did. That is what everybody did, but that is not the objective. That is a lot of numbers. As much your numbers are getting larger, you have a tendency of, that subtraction, and that it's a 10. So it's easy because it's a 0. You'll always be, a 0 will be followed. So then calculation becomes easy. But in case it's not a 0, some other number, which is again a common number between the two, then it would have been very difficult for your subtraction and addition. And there is a chance of error because, the time is ticking. You will be like very anxious. Now you're very relaxed sitting back at your home in your couch and you're doing this. So you'll not come across any errors. When does this error starts coming up? When you're in a tension mode. All right. So try and eliminate as much as numbers as possible. Make the numbers smaller, make it easily solvable, because you cannot use any calculator there, nothing. Rather, using of calculator is so much time taking. So my objective will be to do as fast as possible. So reduce the number. So I first did tried and reduce it this way. And then I found, a 5 is also common here. So I'll subtract, divide it that way also. So none of you did this way, right?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I tried substitution method.
But then, okay, so now, and again, very good that you know the substitution method, but Shraddha, substitution method only and only works when you have those options given to you. Okay, suppose it was given in this
But ma'am,
question, what is the value of x?
as they have given that x is not equal to 2,
Hmm.
so I thought that we'll try it with 1, and I
Yeah, so
got the
this was a
answer.
very easy problem. That's why your 1 worked for you. And so immediately you got the answer. But then suppose the answer was not 1, the answer was suppose 4. So you had to check 1, you had to check 2, you had to check 3, and then you would have gone for 4, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I am not going to invest so much of time. Okay, so what you substitution method I'll teach you, that is only applicable when you have that 4 options there given to you. When you have that 4 options, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, still you can use, but then also if that was also given, maybe 1 was given at the last and 5 was here. So you would have tried the option D at last, right? So by that time you have already spent multiplying and doing all other calculations. So that is very time taking. I will only go for the substitution method when nothing else is working, no simplification, no theory, nothing is working, only then I take up the substitution method. It's a very good method, but only for very selective problem. All right. So,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah, so again, substitution only when you are not able to simplify and solve it. That's one thing. Next is, this thing. Before you start operating this cross multiplication, etc., whatever operation, that try and see if I can reduce the number, if I can, you know, reduce the size of the numbers. That will help you in the long run. Okay, fine. Let us move to the next problem. Okay, so now we come what is called a quantitative comparison type of a problem. Very common in GRE, and it is not only for algebra, it's for all kinds of problem. You'll come across this type. So what happens here? So there will be certain statement, like suppose x square minus 2x plus y equal to 0. This is a statement there. Then they'll say quantity A, quantity B. So in quantity A, they'll write X. In quantity B, they'll write Y or anything, 7 or whatever it is. Suppose 7. So now there will be these 4 options, A, B, C, D. So you have to choose, you have to solve this and then tell. So whether quantity A, that is X, whether X is greater than 7, quantity A is greater. So X is greater than 7. That can be one option for option A. Option B tells that no, quantity B is greater. So 7 is greater than X. You'll prove it. You'll prove it through solving this equation. Third option is the quantities are equal. So X is equal to 7. That you'll solve. Or the fourth option, with the given data, this cannot be stated. Not given in IELTS, that is the thing. Not given type of a problem. The fourth option. So with this given, you have to choose A or B or C or D. If you see that after solving this, X is equal to 7, that means C is the option here. If you see after solving the problem, X is equal to 9, that means A is the option. That is 9 is greater than 7. So that means quantity A is greater. That is X. If you get the value of X by solving is 1. So X is equal to 1. So 1 is always less than 7. So that means quantity B is greater. Am I making sense with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this always might not be given to you in the question, but this is the standard format. Option A is quantity A is greater. Option B is quantity B is greater. Option C is both are equal. Option D is that it cannot be solvable. with the given information. All right, so let us quickly move to a problem. Yeah, this problem. Please try it out. So this is, again, you'll have to write, tell me, is it A, B, C, or D? A means that quantity A is greater than quantity B. B, if you choose, that means quantity B is greater than quantity A. If you choose C, that means quantity A is equal to quantity B and vice versa. And if you choose D, that means not solvable. So kindly quickly solve this. Too much of time. Very quickly, I want.
Ma'am, A is greater than B.
So you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to tell me which option, A, B, C, D.
A.
A. Okay, so Aarti says A. Let's see Shraddha and Pragati.
Ma'am, B.
Pragati says B. Shraddha,
Ma'am, B.
B. All right. So we have got 2 B's, 1 A. So how many, did anybody solve this without using the pen?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So this problem can be solved even, I'll solve this even without picking up the pen. How? And this is how you should do on the GRE. Okay. Right now you're solving, you should gain this habit to reduce your work, to reduce the time. So it is given as P is equal to 300 C square minus C. And then I'm being told that C is equal to 100. Okay. Quantity A is P. So I have to find the value of P, understood. And quantity B tells me 29,000 of C. All right. So now C is given to me. So immediately I know that quantity B is 29 with 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, another 2 will come with 5 zeros. Now this P, I'll not even use a pen. I would see the 300 into C square. So that's 100. That is, if I'm squaring 100, that will give me 4 zeros. So I have already 2 zeros. So that gives me 6 zeros. 6 zeros minus 100. 3, after 3, there are 6 zeros. Out here, how many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, and another 2 for C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 9 is the 6th one. So again, they are exactly, the number of digits are matching. This has 6 zeros. This has, after 2, there are 6 digits there. So the digits, number of digits are exactly same. So now I'll use a common sense. Out here, from the 6 zeros that I have of 3, I'm subtracting 100. And out here, it is 29 after that 50. Which one do you think will be larger quantity? It might sound a little confusing, but this is how we are supposed to work. I meant, my point was, I have C is equal to 100. This is, I'm just doing for you to understand, but you're not supposed to do this. C is 100. 2 zeros. See, whenever there are zeros, your solving becomes very easy. Okay, so C is equal to 100 and P is 300 into 100 square. So that will give me 4 zeros from there and minus 100. So that is how much? 4056. So 6 zeros minus 100. I'm not even going to solve this. I'm not going to do the subtraction. So that is 6 zeros. Out here, quantity B, this is quantity A. Let me do the quantity B here. Quantity B is going to give me 29,000 into 100. That is again 2 zeros. So again, I get 29, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is how much less than this number? This is also a 6-digit number. This is also a 7-digit number. Both are 7-digit number. This is how much less than this number? Approximately, if I add to this, then I'll get this value, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means quantity B, I can write this quantity B as 3 6 zeros minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 zeros. So that's my 30 lakhs minus 1 lakh, and this is 30 lakhs minus 100. Which quantity is going to be more?
A.
A. Shraddha and Pragati, did this make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
This is how we are going to work with the GRE problem. No more, just solving like a kid, like a school student. No. If you're solving that way, you are losing points later, because later when you need time for a critical problem, you will not be able to invest that time. Maybe if you could have given another 1 minute extra to that numerical later on, you could have scored a good score there. Something more than 167 you could have scored, but just because you have invested so much time in the most preliminary problems, you couldn't invest that time in the later critical problems. So that is the point. It is not that, what is the use of doing so fast? This is the only usage, that you invest time where it's required. Where it is not required for me to even pick up my pen, why should I do that? GRE tests your logical thinking. Why it is called quant and not maths? This exam tests your quants and verbal ability. They are not testing your math ability. Math ability, if it were tested, then it would have been separate. How good you are at calculations, they would have checked. But they're not checking that. They're checking how good you are in logical thinking. So this is my logical thinking. So what was my thought process? My thought process was, okay, C is 100 and P is in some form of C. And the positive point out here is the problem was very easy. Why? Because this was a 100 problem. There were some zeros there, right? So, so what did I do? I very quickly, I made this. First, I worked with quantity B. It's not always required that you work with the quantity A first and then with quantity B. Excuse me, just a second. 1 minute, please. All right. So where was I? The thought process. So what was the thought process? That first solve for quantity B. It's not always mandatory that you solve quantity A first and then quantity B. No, you can always solve whichever is the easier one first and then move on to the complicated one. So quantity B is, I have 29,000 into C, that is only 2 zeros will be added. So finally what I get is 29,500s. On mentally, I'm not using my pen, anything. You should be able to mentally work. So 29,500s. This one now, quantity A is P. So P is 300 into 100 square. So 100 is 2 zeros, 100 square will give me 4 zeros. So I have actually 3 6 zeros, correct? So 3 6 zeros minus 100. That will be something 2999, something like that. And this is giving me 29,500s, which I will easily convert in terms of 360. So that will give me 360s minus of a little more, that is 6 zeros. So 360s minus 150s, right? So that is, I'm subtracting 100 from a number, I'm subtracting 1 lakh from another number. Obviously, the number I'm subtracting 100 from is going to be my larger number, correct? So that means P is greater than A, quantity A is greater than B. That means option A is my right answer. Just think about this problem, try it out, mentally just try it out. Is it possible? Tell me. If it's not possible, tell me, ma'am, I'm not able to do that. Then I'll teach you something. Just take 1 minute and think about this problem the way I told you. To work on a fresh page. Write the problem in a fresh page and then think if it is possible mentally for you to work like this. Just see it. It might be that it's not possible. Everybody's way of working is different. But just think about this, write down on a fresh page this problem, and then just think mentally without taking the pen the way I told you. Are you able to visualize the problem? Try it in a new page. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great. So see, this saved you so much time. It will take some time to get into the process of this, just looking at it and logically thinking before taking up the pen. But give yourself that 1 minute from now on, that before taking up the pen, just look at the problem and see, is there a way I can do some modifications logically, mentally? Just give that 1 minute. I know it's a lot of time I'm asking, but if you give this 1 minute right now and get into this practice, your brain will be habituated. Once it gets habituated with logically thinking towards a problem and not solving it mathematically, this will then later on, maybe within another a month or so, you'll see that within 2 seconds, you're realizing that, okay, this is a trap there. I can't find this out just mentally. So you save a lot of time. So from now on, whichever problem we go ahead, take that 1 minute. Give yourself that 1 minute, look at the problem, do some permutation combination. Can I do something with this problem mentally or logically without picking up the pen? All right, from this day, this is one practice that you should be doing. All right, so let us move on to the next problem. Yeah, this problem. Same, it's a quantitative comparison. Let me know what is the answer.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
quantity A will be equal to quantity B.
So what is that option? You're not supposed to say A is equal or greater than B. Which is that option?
D option.
Huh?
Option.
Yes, Pragati, Aarti.
Ma'am, both are same value. Option I didn't remember.
Okay,
I
so
guess
from now on, you all are going to remember that options, mug it up, okay? So
yes, ma'am.
option A is always A is greater than B. Option A is always A, quantity A greater than quantity B. Option B is quantity B greater than quantity A. Option C is quantity A is equal to quantity B. Option D is not solvable or not enough data to solve the problem. Not solvable or not enough data. All right, so which option?
C option.
ma'am.
Very good. How many of you use the pen to solve this?
I use pen, ma'am.
Very bad, Aarti.
Ma'am, me
And
too.
else, who else?
Pragati.
I haven't used.
Very good, Shraddha. So Pragati and
Shraddha,
Aarti
yeah.
use points there. So Shraddha, very good. Because see, directly you look at the problem, you see something is similar in two equations. What is it? This is the same almost equation. This variable has only changed and this zeros has only increased. So just try and visualize this problem without the zeros. Just cancel the zeros. So it's the exact same problem. 12x plus 60 is equal to 132. 12y plus 60 is equal to 132. That means I have the same value of x and y here. Whatever you put for x and solve, same will be the value of y and solve. So that means my quantity A and quantity B is exactly same. If it's exactly same, that means C is the option. You do not need a pen for this. All right. So this, I want you to solve as many problems without picking up the pen as possible. So give that 1 minute time and ask yourself, do I need to use this pen here? Can I solve this mentally or logically? All right. Okay, let us move on to the next problem. Just a second. Yeah, quickly solve this.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I didn't got the question, what they are exactly saying.
Okay. Just wait, give me some time. Let us see what others do. Okay.
Ma'am, option D.
Option D. Okay, let us see. Let us wait for others.
Ma'am, option C.
Option C. All right. So, Shraddha, can you just brief me how you went about this problem? Achha, before that, Aarti, since you couldn't get the problem, this is an equation that is given to you. Okay, so from any equation, normally you're asked to find the value of x. But here, for a change, they're asking you to find the value of x minus 1. So you need to find the value of x from here first. Once you found the value of x from here after solving this equation, you're supposed to find the value of x minus 1.
Okay, now got it. The
Yeah,
question.
now try it out. Okay, Shraddha, can you please brief me how you went about this problem?
Ma'am, actually, first I thought that 225 means it is the answer of 15 square. So I tried to find out that which of these options is going with x plus 3, which is giving me the answer 15.
So you selected minus 16, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you use pen or you didn't
Ma'am,
use pen?
no, I haven't used pen.
Very good. Okay. Okay, Pragati, how did you reduce it to be minus 12?
Ma'am, firstly, I thought about 225. It is a 15 square. Then I solved the cube. Sorry, square. This bracket, and after that I fraction it, and then I
So
simply
did
get minus
you do like this, Pragati and Shraddha? Did you do like this, that x plus 3 whole square is equal to 15 square? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
After this, what step did you do?
Fraction, ma'am.
fraction. Shraddha?
Ma'am.
Aarti, just a second. Shraddha, what did you do after this step?
No, ma'am. I'm not getting.
So
Ma'am,
how
will
did
you
you
please
do? You
repeat?
told that I got 15 square. Then how did you go about the problem?
Ma'am, actually,
Okay, from here you put in the value which gave you 15 out here, right?
yes.
Which one was that
But
value?
minus 16, but it is wrong, ma'am.
It is wrong, right? Okay, so Shraddha's answer is cancelled. Pragati, what did you do? You opened this bracket and did the fraction, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, this is not required. If I'm doing, before doing the fraction, Aarti, just give me a second. So if I'm doing the fraction as a whole, so x plus 3 whole square, 15 square. Now, take the square root of both ends, of both sides. So remove the squares. Square root taking meaning, if I'm giving the square root, the squares vanishes. So what happens then? I get x plus 3 is equal to 15. So x is equal to 15 minus 3, that is equal to 12. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now you are being asked to find the value of x minus 1. Okay, I'll come to that. Aarti, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I actually transfer this square to 225. It will become a square root of 225, which is 15. So x plus 3 is equal to 15, which will give 12. So
Yeah.
12 minus 1, it will give 11.
It will give you 11, but I do not have any 11 option here.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So that means somewhere I have done wrong. And this is the trap again. Everybody knows you're going to do this way. So let us go back again. Again, let us go back. X plus 3 whole square is equal to 15 square. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or
Yes, ma'am.
I can also write it as x plus 3 whole square is equal to minus of 15 whole square. Can I write this or I can't?
Yes, ma'am.
What about Aarti and Shraddha? Can I write this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because minus square becomes plus. That will also give me 225. So now let me see. So again, cancel out these squares. How am I cancel outing these squares? I'm not, I'm not dividing it. I am taking root from both ends. So taking square root from both ends, both sides rather. So I'm left with x plus 3 is equal to minus 15. X is equal to minus 18. So now my x minus 1 is equal to minus 18 minus 1. That is equal to minus 19. That is option E. Right?
Got it, ma'am.
Got it, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is how, so this entire thing till here, till here I could have done without the pen. If you already know that 15 square, did all of you know that 15 square is 225, or you did a square root, you found it in your calculator?
No, ma'am, I know.
No, ma'am. I know.
No to what? You knew or you used the calculator?
Knew
I
it.
knew,
We
ma'am.
knew it.
Okay,
We
very
knew
good.
it.
So that is what we require. We need to know the square roots at least till 25. At least. Rather, not square root, the square values till 25 is a must. Should be marked up. So now, since you already know, you could have thought mentally x plus 3 is equal to 15, like x plus 3 whole square is equal to 15 square. Taking square root both sides, x plus 3 is equal to 15. So x is equal to 12. So 12 minus 1 is 11. I'm doing it all mentally. 11 option is not there. Where can I go wrong? Oh yes, there's a square. So 15 square is 225, minus 15 square is also 225. So let me put minus 15. So if I'm taking x plus 3 is equal to minus 15, I get x is equal to minus 18. So x minus 1 is equal to minus 18 minus 1 minus 19. Yes, I have an option. Right, so this also I can do without taking the pen if you already know 15 square. If you didn't know 15 square, that's a separate issue altogether. You have to calculate that. But since you already know, then why did you take up the pen? There's no need. Maybe you missed this thing that you can take the square root of both ends. I think you people missed this. So this is a very important thing. Remember that for day one, I told you to balance both sides. Whatever you're doing for left side, you should be doing the same for the right hand side. So take square root from both ends. I'm reducing the, what did I say? I have to reduce the number, size of the number. So square 225 is not going well with me. I can't work with so much of data. So let me slash it down. So take square root. So x plus 3 is equal to 15. Now it works, right? So what do you think? Take 1 minute time again in a fresh page, like write this problem and think. Can you do this mentally? Just try it out. Write in a fresh page the entire problem and then think if you can do this mentally. I want you to do all problems like this. Look at the problem, take 1 minute of that time. I have no issues if you're taking time right now. I have issues with taking up the pen and doing all that, calculation.
Got it, ma'am.
Got it? Very good.
Yes.
Aarti, Shraddha?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Let us move on to the next problem. Yes. Let's see.
ma'am.
Yeah.
C option.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
B option.
Pragati?
Ma'am, maybe D, but I'm not sure.
All right. Okay. Who did it without picking up the pen?
I did.
Pragati, very good. Shraddha, Aarti, you picked up the pen for doing this?
Yes, ma'am.
Very bad.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Very bad. Very disappointed. Why? It's a very simple problem. It is 3t cube minus 7 is equal to 74. Take the 7 to the other side. That becomes 74 plus 7 is equal to 81. Right? So I have 3t cube equal to 81. Take the 3 to the other side. 81 by 3 is how much? 27. So t cube is equal to 27. Then t must be how much? If t cube is equal to 27, how much should t be?
3.
Huh?
3.
3. So t is 3. So what will this be? 3 square minus 3. So that's 9 minus 3.
6.
6. So what was the issue here? This is one way you can do it. That I did the entire calculation mentally. If you think that that's being a little difficult, so take the 7 this side, you have got 3t cube is equal to 81. Do the plug-in values. That take the value and plug it here and see which one is actually working. Which one will actually give you this. So I think plugging takes you a lot of time because you are solving it. I only suggest students, if you are not able to solve a problem in the normal method, only then go for the plug-in values. But still you can use the plug-in values if you think that it works good for you. Okay, so what was the issue? Why so many different answers? Who came up with this C?
Aarti.
Oh, ma'am,
Okay, Aarti. So what went wrong?
I got B. Ma'am, actually what happened? I got the correct value of t, but while doing that t square minus t, I did it wrong.
Okay. So that was a silly
Ma'am, up
mistake.
to 83, I did it correctly, but after that, I get confused.
Up to t equal to 3, did it correctly. So you didn't use the pen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you, and I can still pardon you, but Aarti and Shraddha, like Aarti still got the right answer, so she also can be pardoned. But Shraddha, you cannot be pardoned because you used the pen also and you did a silly mistake also. So that is not excusable. All right. So anyhow, that was a joke. It's the first time you're learning this method. It will take some time, but that is the thing. Try and reduce the usage of pen. That's my only objective. Do not take up the pen. Yeah.
I have fear that if I do it in my mind, then I can go with the wrong answer.
Yeah, that fear you have because till date you have never practiced this. If you see, the point is, Aarti, like Pragati, she didn't take up the pen, although she didn't answer also very quickly, but still. So the point is, if you're not picking up the pen, you're answering correctly, you're moving ahead to the next question, you have that much time. What am I saying is that these are all preliminary problems. So in the preliminary problem, if you're taking much of your time, you will lose the points later. Later on, the problems, you won't be able to give some time to your brain also. All right. So it is okay if you're doing a mistake at one go. What did I say? Okay, Pragati didn't use the pen, but she got the wrong answer. Still, it is good. You have to learn taking that risk. You know, in the GRE, there's another exam called GMAT also. These are the exams wherein they are testing your ability. What is that ability? You know, right now you're a student, so you don't know this. When I was a student also, when I took the test, I also used to feel, oh no, I have to do everything right. I have to do all the answers right. I'll take time, I'll do double checking, and then only I'll move ahead. But that is how a student work. When you're going there, you're either going as a research scholar or you'll be later after research scholar, if you're going into the industry, whatever it is, you will never be in your life, able to do everything correctly. That's the truth. That's the hard truth of life. How much ever you plan, how much ever you're double checking yourself, there will be mistakes. But the point that they want to see is that even if you're making a mistake, are you confidently moving ahead? That is what makes you a real person. That is what will give you that higher degree, whether it's a PhD or you're going after that, you go for the industry, whatever it is. So, you have to learn. There will be mistake. There is high chance you have used the pen, you've double checked. Okay, you got the right answer. But Shraddha also used the pen and everything. She took time also, but still she got a wrong answer. So, usse better it would have been she didn't use the pen, got the wrong answer, moved on to the next question. That doesn't mean I'm not saying that, do all the questions incorrectly. No, the purpose should be to get it right. But again, with minimum possible time, with minimum usage of pen, minimum scribbling, minimum workouts. That's my purpose. And this will help you. Trust me. Now you're at home. You don't have to fear about anything. So start doing it home. And the test day, we might think differently, but start doing this as a practice. Maybe down the line, you become so very confident, you don't need the pen also. The GRE and all, even you'll see, like, once you take a mock and all, you'll see, shit, if I could have just got 1 second, I could have solved this problem. 1 second, that time a second also matters. So how much ever seconds you're actually saving, that will accumulate somewhere and then go. That is why GRE, all the experts of GRE say, do not use a calculator. There is a calculator given, but do not use it, because in the computer you have to select the calculator, it will pop up. So that will take maybe half a second. You'll then type it. That is taking some time. You'll do the multiplication, and that's a normal calculator. That's not a scientific calculator. So again, you'll do the multiply. Again, something. So this is all the time you're investing there. Understand, they have framed the problem in a way you can do it mentally. Most of the problems. So that approach should be there whenever you're seeing the problem. So your approach should be, I need to save that 1 second. I need to save that half a second. That will help you. Trust me on this. See, in the reading section also, I've taught you skim reading. That is also such a big gamble. You're doing a gamble. You're not reading the whole paragraph. You're just doing some of the lines you're picking up and framing the title and then going to the question. That is also a gamble, but you have to trust me on that. So out here also, I know you'll fear, because I've gone through the same fear when I was in your position. But this is the only way, this is the only success mantra, nothing else in a GRE or any this type of competitive exam, whether it's GRE, GMAT. This is what works, nothing else. Okay, so from today onwards, make this practice. Whatever problem is there, tell yourself, give that 1 minute, say, I can do without the pen. Let that be wrong. It's just a practice session we are having. All right, train your brain that way. All right, so we are already about time. Let us just quickly do another problem. This one, let us see who can do this without picking up the pen in the correct format.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
-4. Oh, sorry. I have to know.
Ma'am, option B.
Option B. Okay.
B.
So that's Pragati's answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see what others say.
Ma'am, option A.
Aarti says A. Shraddha, we are waiting. Let's see what Shraddha says.
Ma'am, I'm not getting it.
Okay, no problem, Shraddha. Let's see. So again, Shraddha, do you see any pattern here? You didn't get what part of the
Yes.
problem? Like this is a comparison problem. You have to say A, B, C, D, any of the thing, whether quantity A is larger than quantity B, or quantity B is larger than quantity A, or both are equal, or it's not solvable with the given information. Where is the problem?
Ma'am, I'm thinking about the value for X.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll do that. So this is minus x cube is equal to 64, right? So is there any format of a cube for 64?
Ma'am, 4 is a cube of 60. 64 is a cube of 4.
Very good. So I can write this again. I shouldn't be using a pen, but just for you to understand, because few of you are not able to understand. So let me write that minus of x cube is equal to 4 of cube, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now again taking cube root of both sides. This you're not going to write on your exam day. This is just for your explanation I am saying. So that gives you minus of x is equal to 4. Because minus is separate, right? This cube is only for the x. It is not for the minus. Okay, so minus of x is equal to 64. That means x is equal to minus 4 here. I've got x is equal to minus 4. So I'll solve for x to the power 4. I'll solve for x to the power 5. Did you solve x to the power 4 and x to the power 5, Pragati and Aarti?
No,
No,
ma'am,
ma'am.
but no, ma'am.
Who said no?
Pragati, ma'am.
Pragati.
Aarti also.
Achha, very good. Since you didn't solve for it, very good. But then, Pragati, what went wrong? Because anything minus to the power even, minus to the power even is positive, minus to the power odd is equal to negative, right? We know this?
No, ma'am, I didn't remember
Okay,
it.
then it's okay. If you didn't know this, it's okay. This we'll do once we are in the powers. You know, there is a separate class for powers and exponents. I'll do that. But just for your information, so any positive value to the power of square is equal to, okay, 4. Where even minus of square is equal to plus 4 only. So minus, if it's an even power, like the previous problem, 15 to 25. So I took minus 15 square is equal to 225. So the minus quantity to the power of an even number will always give you a positive number. Okay, because 2 is an even number, square is an even number, we got 225 positive. What would have happened if minus 15 to the power of 3 would have been there? That would have given you some negative value. Okay, so this is a thumb rule that you should remember. Minus of a number, whatever is that number, suppose 1, minus 1 to the power even, like even power, 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever it is, will give me a positive outcome. Minus value, minus 1 to the power of odd power, that is 3, 5, 7, 11, like this, odd power will give me a negative value. Clear? So I don't need to solve this also. This will give me a positive value. 5, since it's an odd number, it will give me a negative value. Now, Pragati, which one should be the answer?
Ma'am, A option.
A option. Why? Because on the number scale, if I see number line, this is 0. Out here, it is positive. This side, it's negative. So any negative number, howsoever large it is less than the positive number. And another thing, positive number increase. If the positive number is getting from 2, it becomes positive 24, then positive 225. This is increasing, the valuation increases. What happens for the negative number? Minus 2, then minus 24, then minus 225. So minus 2 is here, that is near to 0. Minus 24 will be somewhere here. a little far from 0. Minus 225 will be even far. So which is the lowest number? Minus 2, minus 24, minus 225, Pragati?
Ma'am, minus 225.
Right. This we all know, right? Larger the number with a negative sign, smaller its valuation. This we all know?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
very good. So that is it. So what is that number I'm not going to calculate? That's my smart work there. Somebody is going to sit there and calculate x to the power 4 and x to the power 5. I do not need, because I see x value is negative. So anyway, positive value will be more than the negative value. What is that negative value? I don't need to know. So I simply say option A is my answer. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So do we are already about time. I'll post these questions again. Try it out at home. Okay. Try if it's possible. I'll post some more problems also. And otherwise, we'll continue from, if you see any problem is there, we'll do another session of algebra. My objective was that, just to give you a hang of algebra, these are the type of problems that will come across. Another is the word problem that I'll come later, as I've already mentioned. Once we have got the understanding of the English language, the twists and turns of the English language, only then we'll move on to the word problem. All right. So that will be it. Any questions or anything?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Answer this question will be B, the question which you are displacing.
Of this one, let me see. D. A, B, C, D.
B for Bombay.
Okay, B for Bombay. Okay, let me see.
B.
Yeah, so others also just try it out, since Shraddha has already solved it. Just try it out. This is K 2 power N when I'm going to
Ma'am.
just a second. Yeah, tell me.
Option B.
Option B, very good. What about this was whose answer? Shraddha had already given. Whose answer this was?
Arti.
Okay. So can anybody explain? Pragati, have you done this?
No, ma'am. I'm little confused how to solve it.
Okay. So let's see. Shraddha, if you can just explain this problem.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in the question itself, they are given that k is equal to 2m and it is also equal to 4n. So means for quantity B, it will be k is as it is 4n. So it is the higher quantity, and 2m is the lower quantity. So and in the options they are multiplying k and n. So we'll get option. So I thought by that way.
Okay. What about you, Aarti?
The quantity B will be greater than yeah.
Aarti, what about you?
Ma'am, I thought whatever will be the km value, the 2 will be multiplied by the to the km, and 4 will be multiplied to the kn. So ultimately kn value will be the higher than km.
Okay, I didn't get what you said. Okay, let's just try it. Okay, just for your understanding. You're saying is k is equal to 2m is equal to 4n. Okay, that's equal to k. So leave k, because k has got nothing common with this. Let me work with this too, because they have something in common. So that gives me m is equal to 4n by 2. That is equal to 2 twice of n. This I'm doing for you. I have done this mentally. I'm just doing it for you to understand. So I have a relationship of k equal to with k, m and n. I also have a relationship of m and n. And I can see M is because they have already told all are non-negative numbers. That means all are positive numbers. So I don't have to worry that, okay, if multiplied with this, it might be lesser than that, like the previous one. So all are positive. That means M is anyway, M is equal to twice of N. That anyway means M is greater than N. Yes or no? If M is equal to twice N, that means if N is equal to 1, M will be 2. If N is equal to 2, M will be 4. If N is equal to 3, M will be 6. So every time M will be anyway higher than N. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
It will
Yes,
only,
ma'am.
the dynamics will change if I am having one of them as the negative number. Only then the dynamics changes. Otherwise, it is always M is greater than N. Right? So Km, Kn. Let me cancel out K from both sides. So what is left? M and N. What is the relationship between M and N?
M is greater than N.
M is greater than N. That means what? Quantity A is greater than quantity B. That means option A. Prakriti, did you understand what I did?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So not all problems you can, do it mentally. Till here, I did it mentally. Like I did it mentally because I'm into a practice of this. I could see that, okay, this is becoming complicated with 3 together, but with 2 together, I'll get a relationship. So what I do, I quickly made the relationship M is equal to twice of N. As soon as I see M is equal to twice of N, and none of them are fractions, none of them are, negative numbers. So they are positive and they are integers. That means whole numbers. So if they are whole numbers, I don't have to worry. If it was a fraction, there was a chance. Suppose N is equal to half. So M would have been what? Half into this one. So still there can be a chance if it's a fraction or something. But when it's an integer, I don't have to even worry. M is equal to twice N. That means M is greater than N. Right? So if M is greater than N, this whole equation zooms on to only M and N because K is common, cancel out K. So M is greater than N. That means my option A is the right answer. Clear? Any doubts on this?
No, ma'am.
Clear,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, very good. So I'll pose these. I think there are a few more problems. Yeah, there are a few more problems, but anyhow, so what I'll do is I'll post this in your classroom, and also I'll post some more problems, more of practice. So you're thorough with the, maybe some problems will be similar, definitely, because these are the only patterns of algebra that is available. So I'll post a lot of problems, and please, please, please do not miss it. Please do it. Even if you see 3 problems one after the other consecutively as similar type, do that. This will help you in that mental thing, that without using the pen, if you're able to solve it. This will only come by practice. All right, so I might give a lot of problem, but then I'll only see it in the next week. So till Sunday, you'll be having the time. So at least please do that. All right. Okay, thank you, class. If you have no doubts, then we may end the session here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.